Have you ever felt like you're just playing a role in your own life? As if the person you're showing to the world isn't really you? Carl Jung spent his entire life studying this exact feeling, and he believed that beneath the layers of personality, conditioning, and expectations lies something far more real, your true self. But here's the problem. From childhood, we're told who to be. Be polite, be strong, don't cry, fit in, be what others expect. And so, unknowingly, we start building a mask, what Jung called the persona. It helps us survive in society, but over time, we forget who we are underneath it. Deep down, there's a version of you untouched by fear, trauma, or shame. It's not perfect, but it's real. It doesn't perform. It doesn't please. It simply is. But according to Jung, discovering that real self isn't just about self-love or motivation. It's about going into the unconscious and confronting everything you've hidden, denied, or feared. This is the process Jung called individuation, a sacred inner journey where the ego and the unconscious begin to communicate, where the shadow is faced, where the pain is finally felt, and the real you begins to emerge, quietly but powerfully. And here's the truth no one tells you. This journey doesn't start with light. It begins with darkness. Not evil, just unknown. Everything you didn't want to feel. Everything you buried. That's where your truth has been hiding. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. So the question is, are you ready to face what's inside? Are you willing to meet your shadow, not to destroy it, but to understand it? Because behind every trigger, every fear, every defense, there is a piece of you asking to come home. You're walking through a forest. It's silent, dense. You're alone. And somewhere in the darkness, you hear a whisper. That whisper isn't coming from outside. It's your unconscious calling you, inviting you into the unknown, to the part of you that was never allowed to speak. Carl Jung believed that within the unconscious lies everything that makes us whole. Our dreams, instincts, wounds, gifts, and yes, even the parts we consider ugly or unacceptable. But society taught us to silence them, so we buried them. That anger? Repressed. That desire? Denied. That sadness? Hidden behind a smile. And over time, the real self becomes a ghost inside your own body. But here's where the transformation begins. Jung didn't say, get rid of the shadow. He said, integrate it. See it, feel it, talk to it. The moment you stop fighting your darkness and start listening to it, you begin the alchemical process Jung described. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. Every breakdown becomes a message. Every emotional wound becomes a doorway. Every moment of pain becomes a mirror. Jung wrote, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, not who the world expects. Not who your parents wanted, but you raw, real, and awakened. This is the essence of individuation. The ego no longer dominates. The unconscious is no longer your enemy. And you finally start to feel like yourself. But make no mistake, this path is not for the faint-hearted. It takes courage to question your identity, to sit with discomfort, to unlearn what kept you safe, but not whole. Yet those who walk this road begin to notice something strange. Synchronicities, random events that feel like signs, dreams that offer insight, people who mirror your wounds and your healing. Jung called it the language of the soul. And the deeper you go within, the more clearly the universe begins to speak. There comes a point on this journey where you stop asking, who should I be? And start asking, who have I always been, beneath the noise? Carl Jung didn't give people quick answers. He gave them symbols, myths, dreams, because he knew that the soul doesn't speak in straight lines. It speaks in poetry, in images, in silence. When you begin the process of individuation, of becoming whole, you begin to reclaim your lost pieces. The creative child who stopped drawing because they were told it wasn't practical. The angry teenager who was punished instead of heard. The grieving adult who never had space to feel. You don't erase these versions of yourself. You bring them home, and through that reunion of the conscious and unconscious, you begin to radiate authenticity. People may say, "You've changed," but the truth is, you've just become you, perhaps for the first time. Jung believed this inner wholeness was sacred, that the true self, when awakened, could align you with the divine. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." So how do you begin? Not by seeking perfection, but by becoming curious, by noticing the patterns that keep repeating, by asking why a certain emotion visits you again and again, by looking at your shadow not with fear, but with compassion. Because hidden within that shadow is light, not a light that blinds, but a light that reveals, a light that whispers, "This is who you've always been." The journey to your true self is not linear. It's spiral-shaped. You'll revisit your wounds, your memories, your doubts, but each time with more awareness, more love, more truth, and one day you'll stop searching for answers in books or people, because you'll realize you've become the answer.